Before this video starts, I just wanted to extend a huge thank you to Bommarito Ford again for letting me review this Focus RS today. If you have any questions about it or are interested, please contact Steve Nodiff and tell him Josh sent you. Thanks for watching. Alright, so today I'm actually back at Bommarito Ford in another one of their cars, so big thank you to them. Today it's the 2017 Focus RS. I'm really excited to do this video, so let's go ahead and get started. So this isn't just your ordinary everyday Focus. This one's powered by a 2.3 liter turbo inline 4. It makes about 350 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. And it handles extremely well. It's all-wheel drive and has a really intelligent differential system. So we're on this back road right here, some tight corners, and it's doing really well. I'm just in the regular mode. Little backfire there. It's nice and quiet on the inside. One thing I do notice is that they're definitely pumping in sound, kind of like a lot of their other models. They're pumping sound into the cabin to make it sound a little better. This one, it's a little bit more noticeable than the Raptor I just reviewed. However, it still doesn't really take away from the driving experience or anything. It's pretty tame, but you can definitely tell. But it sounds really good in my opinion. So it rides really smooth in this regular mode here. However, there are 4 different driving modes that you can pick from, and you just pick those with this little button down here. You can go from regular to sport, track, and then it actually has a drift mode, which is interesting. Now's probably a good time to talk about the reverse camera that's on this. It's a huge screen right here, and it's got the typical lines that most Ford vehicles have that show you whenever you're turning the vehicle in a different direction. It kind of guides you where you're going to go, so that's nice. To get in reverse, you pull up on this little ring under the shifter, and then you push all the way over to the left and up. As far as fuel economy goes in these cars, it's pretty good for what it is. It's definitely a high-performance vehicle, but it still manages to get pretty good gas mileage. It gets about 22 average. In order to get that 22 average, it gets 19 miles per gallon city and about 25 miles per gallon highway. It has 6 gears, the 6th gear being basically an overdrive gear for the highway, so you can get better gas mileage. But yeah, I'm doing about 40 right now, and I have it in 5th gear, a little under 2,000 RPMs, and it's really quiet on the inside. However, you can definitely hear it whenever you get on it, and there's a little backfire earlier, like I said, so that sounded pretty cool. The exhaust actually has electronic valves that open and close automatically, depending on which mode you're in and how fast you're going and like what RPMs you're at. Yeah, it grips really well though. I love the steering wheel. It's really nice. It has a great 9-3 grip. All the controls you need are on the steering wheel, but it's not cluttered or anything. You have your cruise control down here, your menu selection up here, and then you have volume and your phone controls down there. It just grips and goes. This thing's a lot of fun. So as I mentioned earlier, it has a 0 to 60 time of 4.6 seconds, and it actually has a top speed of 165 miles per hour, which is pretty cool. Definitely not a bad top speed for a little 4-cylinder turbo. So if you want to go fast, you also have to slow down too. So Ford didn't forget that. They put in 4-piston Brembo brakes up front, which stop really well. They bite really well. They have a great feel to them. I mean, you hardly have to touch it and you're slowing down quite a bit. Another thing I like is these seats. If you're a little bit bigger, they might not fit you as well. I'm a little bit of a smaller guy, so they fit me pretty well and hold me in. They're really nice, kind of like half leather, half cloth Recaros, and they're also heated too as well, which is nice. But yeah, the bolstering's really great, especially on the thighs. It really holds you in well. Couldn't really ask for much more on the seats. Yeah, it sounds good when you're accelerating, but as soon as you want it to quiet down, it definitely does. And in this black color here, with these silver wheels, it definitely doesn't look out of the ordinary from all the other cars on the road, so people aren't really expecting this to be the big performer that it is. You don't draw a lot of attention to yourself in this spec, which a lot of people might like, but if you do want attention, you can also get some really cool colors that Ford offers, such as the nitro blue color, and you can also get different color wheels too. So a lot of you might not have actually heard of the Focus RS before until recently. That's because the title of the RS in the car has not been available in the US until 2017. So it's a big deal for enthusiasts in the US that have wanted the RS over the years, because the RS has a huge legacy behind it between different cars, such as the last generation RS that was available in Europe and the RS 200 from back years ago. It was actually a rally car that was built to be street legal, so that was really cool. So it kind of has that legacy behind it too as well, which is nice. As far as the interior goes, it's pretty nice. I already talked about these seats. The back seats aren't bad either. They're pretty comfortable, and they actually have quite a bit of room. Me sitting behind myself, I have about an inch or two of legroom left, so not bad for a hatchback. As far as storage space goes, you have a little bit. You have a little mat pocket on the passenger side. You have a mat pocket over here, as well as a little bottle holder or cup holder. You have two cup holders up here, pretty small center console, and then a little spot up here. Maybe you can put your phone or something like that, and there's a USB port in there as well. As far as the sound system goes, it's a Sony sound system with 10 speakers all throughout the cabin. 2 up here, 1 down in each of those spots, and then the rest in the back. Sounds really good. I tested that a little bit earlier, and I really like the sound of it. It fills up the cabin well, especially in something that's as quiet and refined as the RS is. Oh yeah, it feels good. That was a little third gear pull right there, getting onto the highway, and it's good. There's not a ton of turbo lag, but you definitely feel a little bit. Yeah, 6th gear cruising on the highway. Nice and smooth and quiet. I'm getting about 34 miles per gallon right now too, since I'm barely on it, so that's nice. As far as visibility goes, with it being a hatchback, you have pretty good visibility. You have really big side mirrors with little blind spot mirrors on the corners, and those work really well. You can also see out the back very easily, and if you look over your shoulder, you can see out the side windows and the little quarter windows that are at the back there as well. So visibility is definitely not an issue in this car. It's taking the bumps pretty well on the highway right now. I have it in regular mode. I can change the suspension to sport mode if I want, using this stalk right here on the left, which also doubles as your turn signal. The gauges are really nice. The speedometer goes up to 180 miles per hour, but as I mentioned earlier, it only goes up to 165, the car itself. You have your tachometer on the right with red line at about 6,500 RPMs, and you have some gauges up top as well. You have your oil pressure gauge, oil temperature, and a boost gauge, which is pretty cool. I love the way the car feels though. It's really smooth. Obviously it's a little bit bumpier than the other models of the Focus, because this is the more like hardcore track Focus model, but still it's not uncomfortable or anything. And like I said, these seats are incredible. I love these seats. Really easy to downshift, so that's nice. So I talked about the feel of the brake pedal, so I might as well talk about the feel of the clutch pedal, since these cars only come in a 6-speed manual. So the clutch, it has a really defined grab point. It's not too heavy. It feels pretty good, and it's really easy. As far as the shifter goes, it also feels pretty good. It's really notchy. You definitely know when you're in gear. The throws aren't super long, but I think they could be a little bit shorter, but it definitely still feels good. Like most other Ford models that are out today, it's a push button start, which is nice. So pretty much all you have to do is put your foot on the clutch and the brake, push the start button, and you're ready to go. So I talked about the sound system a little bit, so I should talk about the infotainment as well. The screen is pretty large, really clear resolution. It's pretty snappy when you touch on it. There's a little bit of lag, but that's to be expected. And there's also your controls right down here that are really simple and easy to use. Your source button's right here. Your sound is right here. and then you have this, which allows you to skip tracks or go to different stations, and then you can also tune using these right here, or you can just go up to the screen and click on your presets right up there. Also, if you want, you can use the controls down here in order to change your music and answer the phone, things like that, adjust the volume. Yeah, it pulls hard, feels good. I've wanted a Focus ST for a long time. I just love the looks of them and how they feel, but this is miles better in my opinion. I think it's definitely worth the price difference for what you get. It feels really good, and I think I can forget the ST after driving this. This is another car that actually has pretty low miles on it, so if you're looking for a pretty much brand new car, make sure to contact them and look at this car for sure. Yeah, tons of power when you need it. There's torque in just about every gear. That was 6th gear right there, and there's still plenty of power when you need it. Yeah, downshifting is really nice. Another feature this car has is actually a launch control, which is pretty cool. You access that through the menus with using these controls right over here. I won't be testing that, but I've seen some videos of it and it's pretty cool. So if you want to look that up, I'll link a video for that as well. As far as the looks of this car go, they're really cool. Like I said, I already like the original looks of the ST, and these just are a huge improvement over that, even in my opinion. The front looks really mean. You definitely know that it's an RS when it's behind you, so that's pretty cool. I really also like the dual exhaust out the back. That looks really cool with those chrome tips. Like I said, it's kind of an active exhaust, so that's a nice cool feature too as well. It gets loud when you want it to be, but quiet when you don't want it to be. So this isn't just your average 4-cylinder all-wheel drive car. There's a lot of incredible engineering that went into it, like the electronically adjustable suspension components, and also the really intricate torque vectoring system. So basically the torque vectoring system allows you to transfer 100% of the power to either of the rear wheels within about 1/6 of a second, which is really fast. So definitely a cool feature for sure. We're gonna do a little 2nd gear pull. A little bit of turbo lag, but not bad at all. Once the power kicks in, you feel it and it puts you back. I'm gonna put the suspension into sport mode real quick, and we're gonna see how it changes it a little bit. I'm also gonna put the drive mode into sport as well. Definitely sharper throttle response in sport mode. As far as steering goes, definitely a little bit heavier, tighter. Corner's very flat, feels really good. You definitely feel the suspension stiffening up a little bit, but it's still not like super harsh or anything. I think it feels pretty good. All right, so we're gonna do a little 1st gear pull here to see how it does. It's a lot of fun, definitely feels really good. Another nice feature that I haven't mentioned yet is that it has hill start assist, so it'll just kind of engage the brakes for you until you get the car going on its own. Do another little acceleration here. Yeah, it gets up and goes. It's a lot of fun. I love those pops that the exhausts make whenever you let off the gas. It sounds really cool. This car is loads of fun. So, once again, huge thanks to Bommarito Ford for letting me drive this car. It's been a ton of fun. I'm really impressed by it, and I'll definitely be wanting one of these in the future. When you compare it to like a WRX STI or something of that nature, I think it stacks up pretty well. The power is good, the acceleration's good, of course it being all-wheel drive, that definitely feels good as well. Corners incredibly well, the sport mode feels great, and it's not too harsh. You can definitely daily drive it and get pretty good gas mileage, since it's still a 4-cylinder hatchback at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm very impressed by it. So huge thanks to Bommarito Ford for letting me drive it, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So I'll see you in the next video.